they don't think they can do it.
Yeah, possibly.
Because I've seen a lot of amazing things happen, things that you would never think of.
Right.
So generally I think either they can't do it or they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But, and that's fine. There's always going to be certain skill levels in any job.
Yep.
And I'd rather them recognize that it's something that's out of their ability range than try it and not do the job. So that guy just kind of got on my nerves with that. Like, what if I do just want a tiny tattoo? I mean, they're like going to go in and go, I'm sorry I'm fat, but I really just want a small tattoo.
Yeah.
So we argued a little bit. Want to tell us a little bit about your space, your studio here?
Yeah,
That's very relaxing and it is very relaxing.
I think the only thing that's lacking right now is more comfortable seating for the client. Like I'm pretty. I have a nice big massage table for people that are gonna lay down, but which is also a big friendly massage table. I didn't get the only takes 100-pound massage table that a lot of guys get so they can travel. Like I got the monster that would hold myself and my wife at the same time for obvious reasons. But yeah, I've been tattooing for a long time, and the vast majority of that time has been in really busy street shops where there are people just sort of flowing in and out, and
Glenn Scott for a while.
Yeah, I was with Glenn Scott. I started with Glenn Scott in '92 on Main Street when that was one of only like 3 tattoo shops in the entire area, and it was really busy then. That was the first big wave of extremely popular tattooing. Like, you know,
back in the day, you had a tattoo, everyone knew that's where you went.
Yeah,
that
pretty
was
much.
one of the only places to go.
That's just about it. And he was real accepting of people. It wasn't like there were a few other shops, but they were really bikery, you know?
Yes.
And Glenn's an old biker, but he's also like, his parents were both teachers and professors, and so he comes from a background, he's able to talk to anybody on any level. And he was always big on that. And he wanted the mainstream clientele. He didn't want just the biker guys who were wanting to spend $40 and get wasted while they were there and puke or pee all over the shop or whatever it might be. And so, he went for that.
Considering how the industry has gone.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was definitely in our area. He was at the forefront of that. And so I was there, and it was really busy then. And then I left for quite a while and worked for myself, and then worked for several other shops. Worked at New Breed for a while, and these are all shops where people come in and they want to pick something off the wall and get it done. And you get to do a certain amount of custom stuff, but mostly it's just really kind of willy-nilly, and that's great. That's fine. I think that every tattoo artist should go through that as part of their formative experience. But for me, I got to a certain point where I was in a walk-in shop, but I had a clientele base that was big enough that I was booked weeks or months in advance, and I was doing these larger, more intense kind of art pieces, like really trying to push the art form and push myself, and to have like crackheads rolling in and wanting to sort of bother you and cause a scene and all that kind of stuff. It's just, or the people that are shoppers that come in and waste your time by, talking to you for hours about the really original tribal armband tattoo that they want to get, and then they don't get anything done.
Right.
That just, I got to the point where I was starting to be a prick to everybody that came in. Like, I was becoming one of those guys that I hated in the industry where, if you came in and you pointed at the wall and wanted the little angel tattoo on the wall, I'd just be like, and walk away. Which is horrible. Like, that's a horrible person to become. And I realized it was because of the people that I had to deal with there. And so I decided that I wanted to go off on my own, do my own thing, but instead of doing the traditional street shop thing, I wanted to just kind of hide out and do my thing. So this place sort of fell into my lap. The guy that owns the building, we went to high school together, and he offered me the space for super cheap, and it's just the perfect little space for me to be in here kind of by myself. Initially I was by myself. I've since taken on 2 apprentices who are both tattooing now. But you know, I'm able to just keep my clientele, my appointment only clientele. We're able to take all the time we need to do what we need to do. It's comfortable, it's private, nobody's going to walk in and bother them or bother me. We can listen to music or, you know, put on a DVD or, you know, whatever. They can bring in a 6-pack of beer if they want, or wine, or anything, and it's not gonna be a situation, and we're gonna be able to just really focus on the work rather than everything else that's going on, all the inner shop drama. When you have 5 or 10 people working in a place together, there's constantly going to be, you know, work drama.
Ego issues?
Sure, sometimes, yeah, that. And even just like, you know, we would have the guys run in like, oh my God, you gotta see this guy walking down the street or whatever. Or, you know, there's somebody's fighting next door at the bar, and like
General drama.
just drama in general. And you know, and it also being in a shop situation for me, you know, from my experience, you develop this sort of gang mentality. You're all together every day. You develop, like, you start to have the same opinions about everything. You have the same enemies. You know, when somebody at another shop pisses off one guy, then he is the enemy of everyone.
All the 3 musketeers.
And yeah, and there was this whole sort of mentality that I was starting to become a part of. That, like, you know, I have no reason to dislike any other tattoo artist in town unless he's done something to me. There's plenty of skin to go around. You know, Dayton, for being this supposedly little small town, there's some amazing artists in Dayton, or that have come out of Dayton.
Yeah.
And you know, to have to be sort of at war with all of these guys, just because they're tattoo artists too, it's just really silly to me. So by becoming an independent person and leaving the group, like, I'm now able to be friends with all those people on a level that I wasn't before. I don't work for the shop that they hate because they used to work there and this and that and the other, or, you know, they opened a shop around the corner and they're in direct competition with us. They may take our walk-ins. And I don't have that anymore. I've got a clientele that comes here for me. They want what I do because I do it, and I'm not worried about them going elsewhere. And if they want to get tattooed by other people too, then that's kind of cool too. They're collectors, and I can go, yeah, they can come in and go like, wow, look at that great work, and I can feel honored to put my work next to it. Instead of it being a competitive thing, like, I'm going to put my work next to it and it's going to be more badass than that guy's and it's going to piss him off, and because that's what tattoo, we say we don't. You know, we will openly like, oh, I love that guy, and then the client leaves and we're like, that guy's a fucking you know, and you know, it's just sort of like if you own a McDonald's and your best friend eats at Burger King, like, you're gonna be mad at your best friend, you know, and that's not how art should be. I don't think. You know, same thing with music. I've been in bands and stuff for years, and it's the exact same thing. You play with all these other local bands, and you try to be cool and be friends and all that, but, like, you're secretly, like, pissed off because they played before you or after you or whatever it might be. They had more people show up, or they didn't bring enough people, or, you know, there's all these, like, dramatic things, or you know, you have the competitive side where you have, like, battle of the bands and things like that you play, and like, a lot of people just play those things to have a gig, you know. And
Careful ladies, they got to play.
but you hear the, like, snide talking, like, oh, they brought their grandma and their friends, and that's why they did well tonight. It's like, well, that's who should come and see them, you know, really. But
do you find the industry is getting more competitive, you know?
sort of, but I think that a lot of people are really taking the road that I've taken. Like, a lot of the guys that the guys that are doing well, are becoming less competitive. They're sharing more. You know, if you go to a convention, when I first went to my first convention, it was like 1992, and nobody was sharing anything. We were not there to learn from each other. We were there to